The practitioner certification program is a program that was created and then offered in collaboration with the Flower Essence Society. So to give you a little bit of a history of it, I did my practitioner certification with FES. I absolutely loved it, but I also felt like there were some pieces that were a little bit missing for me as a growing practitioner. And so I created a program that I felt would cover those gaps, that included mentorship, that included some of the aspects around the physiology of stress, that included the elements. And I sent it to FES and I was like, hey, I want to do this like flower essence training thing. I just want to make sure that you guys are okay with it, that it's not like a conflict of interest, right? And their response was, it's great, but can you use our metaflora levels? And so they granted me a license to incorporate their practitioner training into my practitioner certification program. And the extreme honor in that is that they do this work all over the world, and they have lots of folks leading certification trainings. But my program was the first one, and I think still remains the only one that was in the US, where you could get certified in the FES flower essences as part of the Flower Essence Society without going to their course, which is in California and Nevada City. So that was an extreme honor, and I was very excited. And so the course incorporates the FES practitioner course, which is on the metaflora levels, as well as a few of the other pieces that are part of the training. So when the program was originally designed, it was designed as 3 levels: a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. Level 1 was like basic training. Level 2 got deeper into the science of working with the metaflora levels and archetypes and formula making. And then level 3 was a practitioner supervised mentorship. What I've learned over the past, I don't even know how many years of doing the certification, is that everyone comes in at different points in their journey and in their work. Some people come in completely green, have never done any kind of practitioner work before. Some people come in as experienced practitioners. Some folks are good writers. Some folks are not. And so as COVID happened and the last class that's in the level 3 right now is wrapping up, I wanted to reconfigure the training to allow many different points of entry and many different points of interest, but still hold the integrity of the original approved program. And so the program now consists of 3 aspects. The first are the required courses. These are the classes that are absolutely important to be considered for flower essence as a flower essence practitioner. The second set is elective credits, which are open level courses that are open to not just folks that are flower essence practitioners, but any kind of energy, physical, or healing work. And then the last piece of it is the practitioner portfolio, which is a compilation of case study work, essays, writing, research, presentations that I will review. Once it's signed off on, I send it off to FES, and then they will add you to their database of practitioners. So in a nutshell, that is how the program works. And I can show you a little bit of what that looks like in real time. So this is the overview of the program. You can find this on my website, but I'm sharing it here. I'll just scroll down to the bottom. There's 50 credits of required courses. A credit is about an hour of interactive class time plus an hour of offline independent work, right? That's kind of how I think about what makes a credit. So as you're looking at the credit, you can get a sense of like, what's the scope of this particular class. So there's 50 hours of credits of required coursework. Those are the courses that were originally part of the approved Flower Essence program. And then there's 25 elective or practitioner development credits, which is kind of where you choose your own adventure based on what you feel like your needs and strengths are as a practitioner. for a total of 75 credits. So required courses are going to be the elemental certification. So that's 15 credits if you complete that process. And then there's foundations of plant medicine, the descent, which is the 9 stages of soul healing that I referenced earlier. Then there's the metaflora system and the formula making with sacred geometry. So some of those classes are offered at the same time. The formula making and the FES metaflora system, they kind of go together, but so they'll be offered at the same time, but you can choose if you want to take both or just one or however you want to do it. And each of these has an aspect that is part of the portfolio. So in the foundations of plant medicine, what's required for FES certification is a plant study or plant presentation. So you do that part of the portfolio in the foundations of plant medicine class. The metaflora system is working with the specific coaching techniques. Formula making and sacred geometry is for those of you who are interested in creating your own formulas. It's about how do you do it as a comprehensive whole that doesn't make people feel batty. The intro to case study and clinical practice is a required course where we go through all of the specifics of what's required in the case study portfolio. And then at the end of that process is the portfolio review. You have 1 year to do your portfolios once you start it. So if you go to open level courses under training, so these are, again, are courses that are open to everyone, whether you're a flower essence practitioner, whether you're a Reiki practitioner, whether you're a massage therapist, whatever, wherever you find yourself, these are the open level classes, and it includes the ones that are part of the certification. And you can come on here and you can read a more detailed description of what the classes are and what we cover in those classes. They each have their own books that are required. They each have their own, they're kind of insulated classes, but they're really, really fun. So that's the open level courses. You can see those there. You can kind of get a sense of which ones speak to you, which ones don't. They're also open to folks that are already certified, because again, some of them are fun. And then I've invited folks that have completed the program to create special topics. So those will also be offered as electives. Most of the folks that complete the program are phenomenal teachers, educators. They run practices, they run healing centers, and they will count as those elective credits. And it's really choose what calls to you, what speaks to you. If you go under clinical training and certification, these are classes that are only open to experienced practitioners and advanced students. So these classes tend to be smaller. And there's a description of all of them there. Some of the things to bring your attention to are clinical grand rounds. We haven't been doing them because they are live. And hopefully when the world opens back up again, we'll be able to offer some of these courses as weekend intensive and live sessions. But, you know, we're staying flexible, we're staying open. Clinical supervision and mentorship used to be a required part of the 3-level training. It was the level 3. The reason we took that out of it is because not everyone needs it. And then sometimes people do it and they don't really take advantage of it. Like, so they'll come in and do the supervision, but then they're not writing their case study. So it kind of becomes a waste, right? So we wanted to really structure it so that anyone who wanted supervision could get supervision no matter where you are in your flower essence process, but that also that you're taking that when you're actually ready to sit down and start writing your portfolio. And of course, if you decide that you want to do it without doing the supervision, that's also available for you as well. And then the last piece, the final phase, is the portfolio review, which is where we go through all of the materials in your portfolio, which includes 3 reflective practice essays, a plant study presentation, an archetypal essay. Again, these are created during the courses that lead up to the portfolio, 3 in-depth clinical case studies, and an annotated bibliography of all of the required texts of the program. Once you submit that in a lovely Dropbox or Google Drive, I'll review it, I'll go through it in detail, Then we'll set up an hour to an hour and a half long review session. We'll go through all of your cases and all of your work. And then once that is approved, we will send it off so you can get your certification.